The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
A San Antonio police officer shot twice, a suspect dead. We begin by following that late breaking news we had at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it happened on Wycliffe Drive and Willenbrock, not far from Loop 410 and Rigsby Avenue. That's where we find our Patty Santos. She has been live at the scene for a while now. Patty, what can you tell us about what's happening out there and what happened out there?
Well, I can tell you right now that several streets in this around this neighborhood are closed right now. Again, this is near Rigsby and Willenbrock, but I want to show you the field. This is where most of the, the action that we've seen police take place. Right behind this field here is where we know that this shooting took place. Police say they were called about a disturbance involving a suspect with a gun. And when the officers arrived, they say the suspect drove off in his bicycle. At some point, that a suspect opened fire on one of the officers, injuring him.
The first officer who responded was also pursuing him, and he tried to cut him off in the lot behind me. And when he encountered that suspect, he shot, and that suspect is deceased in the field behind me right now.
The suspect is in his 40s, and police say he had some run-ins with law enforcement. Back live out here right now. We are waiting to find out more on the condition of that officer. We hope to have more information for you coming up tonight on the Night Beat. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Patty. Hours away from death. That's how Sheriff Javier Salazar describes the horses they seized today in connection with an animal cruelty case. Animal Control alerted BCSO deputies that 8 horses were being starved in the 16,300 block of Benton City Road in Von Army. The sheriff says when deputies arrived, they found no hay or water on the property, along with one of the horses on the ground. The horses were taken to a veterinary hospital in Floresville to be examined. The sheriff says they faced some challenges taking the horses off the property.
Just wild. You could tell that they probably never even seen a trailer, much less been in one. They've probably never had a rope around their neck or over their face, and so it was difficult for us to do it. The vet actually got kicked in the head. They're pretty wild horses.
That is okay. BCSO was granted a search and cease warrant today. They did not arrest the owner. However, the sheriff says the owner could face animal cruelty felony charges for each of the horses, pending the outcome of their examination. The San Antonio Police and Crime Stoppers also looking for a person who robbed a security service branch on the city's far north side. It happened on August 3rd near 281 and Evans Road. Police say the suspect entered the security service branch, approached the teller, demanded money, and took off. And SAPD also asking for your help in solving another robbery, this one on the city's east side. This happened on August 2nd at a fast cash pawn in the 300 block of South New Braunfels. That's where police say this person you see here held a store clerk at gunpoint and demanded cash. That clerk did comply, and the suspect then took off. If you have any information on either of these cases, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers 210-224-STOP. And now to the latest coronavirus news. The superintendent of Northeast ISD says there is a case of student spread at one of their schools. According to Dr. Sean Micah, Castle Hills Elementary School seeing an outbreak in COVID-19 cases among students. Just a short while ago, Dr. Micah sent this video message to parents saying cases have increased from this time last year and that the spread appears to be student to student, something the district says was rare last school year.
To date at Castle Hills, we have seen 18 confirmed student cases of COVID-19 and 4 staff cases. Also, our data shows 12 of those student cases were due to close contact at the school. In contrast, there were only 11 total reported cases at Castle Hills last year.
The superintendent also adds that if the trend spreads to other campuses in the school district, they may have to close campuses. The rest of the schools in the district start on Monday.
He was also encouraging mask wearing. 2 Northeast ISD employees have tested positive for COVID-19 after attending a convocation with more than 500 people. The district confirming those positive tests today, saying both the infected employees contacted the district later that same day of the convocation. NEISD Executive Director of Communications, Aubrey Chancellor, tells us as soon as the district found out about those cases, they responded immediately.
All throughout last year, throughout the summer, and then moving forward this year, anytime that we find out one of our employees or a student tests positive, we're going to send out notification to anyone who may have been in that same area that the particular person was in as well. So that's what we did in this case too.
Chancellor also tells us it is unlikely an auditorium of 500 people were all in close contact with those 2 infected employees, but says notifications were still sent out to everyone in attendance as a precaution.
A group of parents defying local school and government mask mandates, saying, "My child, my choice."
The group met this afternoon outside of the Bexar County Courthouse to protest government officials and other agencies that are pushing for all students, teachers, and staff to mask up.
Alicia Barrera spoke to protesters who say they are fighting for the freedom to choose.
They don't want masks, and they don't want to co-parent with the government.
Well, it's important because we live in America, and this is our freedom at stake here. And if I want my kids to wear a mask, they'll wear one. If I don't, then they won't.
More than 50 people rallied outside the Bexar County Courthouse to fight for the right of parent choice.
My son's 14 years old, and in those 14 years, I've had to make thousands of decisions, risk assessments on what is best for him. I've successfully gotten him this far in life. There's no reason I shouldn't be allowed to continue doing that as his parent.
The group received support from the vice chair of the Republican Party of Bexar County, Charlotte Eisenhower.
This is not fine. This is not fine. We have to educate our children. We have the right to do so.
And while parents want the government to leave their kids alone, during a Q&A with KSAT yesterday, Dr. Ruth Bergeron from UT Health San Antonio said masks are about safety.
Talk to the kids about masking and tell them that this is just like putting your seatbelt on when you get in the car. It doesn't guarantee you that everything is going to come out fine, but it really increases your safety. And none of us has any problem with putting on a safety belt for a kid, and so nobody should have any problem with putting on a mask.
Parents and grandparents present today say it took courage to stand up for their beliefs, as they don't want to be shamed and do have their kids' best interest at heart.
The group says they'll keep pushing against any mask mandates across Bexar County and, of course, wait anxiously for that hearing involving that temporary restraining order against the state of Texas. That's set for Monday, August 16th. Reporting Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
They are trying to save lives and fend off angry relatives at the same time. Tension is building inside San Antonio hospitals with limited visitation, longer hospital wait times, and mask policies in place. Some patients and families are taking it out on frontline healthcare workers. The chief nurse executive for University Health says people are getting hostile. Healthcare workers across different hospitals are emotionally, physically, and spiritually drained already. The chief nursing executive at Methodist Healthcare also sharing their experiences during last night's city briefing.
The patient was upset because he had to wait. He became hostile. His mom became hostile.
Our staff have been cursed at, screamed at, threatened with bodily harm, and even had knives pulled on them. We've had to increase our security and actually called on our SAPD for very disruptive cases.
Hospital staff says they are asking patients and families to be respectful. The chief nurse executive of Baptist Health System says their issues surround visitors simply not wanting to wear masks in hospitals.
Historically, San Antonio was at the heart of the early fight over Hispanic voting rights. It's why today we have single-member city council districts. Now the Mexican-American Civil Rights Institute has a symposium underway with virtual speakers and discussions. Jesse DeGollado spoke to 2 of the organizers about how the struggle for those rights has happened both then and now.
The civil rights protests of the 50s, 60s, and 70s were radical departures from how many Hispanics were raised, or else they'd risk being physically punished in school.
Don't get involved. mind your own business.
And even then, the retired longtime educator says, in spite of demonstrators challenging the status quo,
most people didn't even know that they were being oppressed.
Decades later, social injustice provoked recent worldwide protests. But with the Texas legislature taking on voting rights and how racial history is taught in schools, unlike back then.
A lot of activism was more in the streets, and now there are different ways to do that kind of work. Social media is a big player in this.
And perhaps more so in light of the latest U.S. Census data. Now the second largest in the country, the Hispanic population grew by 23%, compared to just over 4% for non-Hispanics.
Latinos are now a huge percentage of the population, and we cannot assert ourselves by denying who we are.
Especially with more now in elected office, Ruiz says it's up to them to help address issues important to the Latino community. He says the House Democrats in D.C. blocking changes in Texas elections are a good example.
I don't think that people are entirely complacent. I just think that we're dealing with a lot right now.
Otherwise, they say the anger and frustration of the early civil rights movements are still there to varying degrees, just more behind the scenes. Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
Take a look outside with live cam this evening. Look at those big puffy clouds out there. 94 degrees.
They're teasing us.
Yeah, it didn't really seem like they're helping out too much today.
They tried, but they didn't try very hard to produce any rain. We have a couple of stray thunder showers out there currently, but for the overwhelming majority of us, it's just going to be warm and muggy as we wrap up your Friday. Today's almanac, 75 the morning low, up to 96 this afternoon. Both those numbers right about average for this time of year. High temperature in Del Rio today 101, up to 93 in Uvalde, 100 degrees in Cotulla. Currently temperatures are still in the mid to upper 90s. It's going to be a slow drop with our temperatures this evening. And at first glance, radar is pretty quiet in and around San Antonio and Bexar County. No rain to speak of, just those puffy cumulus clouds. But we do have one little lone thunder shower that's off to the west of Campbellton and southern Atascosa County, scooting off to the west. So I can't rule out a stray thunder shower through sunset, but again, for most of us, just warm and muggy this Friday evening. We'll talk about your weekend forecast coming up in just a bit. We'll be right back.
We have some late breaking news just into the KSAT 12 newsroom. An appeals court, we have learned, has ruled against Governor Abbott's request to have the mask requirements being enforced in San Antonio and Bexar County schools struck down.
Yeah, it was an appeal that was filed by the governor and the attorney general yesterday. Today, a district court judge basically throwing that out and letting the mask mandate in San Antonio stand. Now, all this is happening separate of a hearing that will happen on Monday morning, Monday afternoon, on whether or not to continue the mask mandate, whether it can continue under current state law. So we're staying on top of all this.
Yeah, there'll be a lot to follow in this legal fight. Meantime, let's turn to traffic now. This week, the U.S. Senate passed a massive infrastructure bill, but there's still a long way to go before the final plans are set.
Yeah, the White House touting the benefits of the plan for Texas. Our Samuel King joins us now. We're talking billions of dollars here, Sam.
Yeah, that's right, Steve and Myra. And the U.S. Census numbers released this week underscoring the need for infrastructure improvements in our growing region. The bill promising billions not just for roads and bridges in Texas, but also for broadband, transit, and electric vehicles.
There's going to be more than $20 billion that's going to be invested in Texas alone for the highways, and more than $500 million for the bridges.
White House Deputy Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre tells me that investment in roads doesn't mean leaders aren't focused on the need to address climate change, even in a state like Texas. So the plan also includes $3 billion in investment in transit and $408 million to boost an electric vehicle charging network across the state.
So we actually do need to invest in our infrastructure. At the same time, we need to modernize, right? If you think about our public transit system, we have to make sure that those things are modernized in a way that it deals with climate change as well.
The federal funding could not come soon enough for local officials. While there's a lot of projects underway, many more are on hold because the money just isn't there yet. Councilwoman Melissa Cabello-Harvada is also the current vice chair of the Alamo Area MPO, which distributes federal transportation funding in our region.
Every dollar that we can get in mobility for our city is a dollar well spent. Everybody uses the roads, they walk, they use our bus system, they use our bike trails.
While there was bipartisan support for the plan in Congress, our 2 Texas senators voted against it. Republican Senator John Cornyn says while, quote, Texas stands to benefit once this bill becomes law, he had concerns about the process and the cost. The White House feels it will be money well spent.
Independent observers have said in the next decade, we're going to see 2 million jobs per year. And so that's what the president wants to focus on.
The Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act has a $1.2 trillion price tag. Now, it does have a lot of support in the House, would pass, although many Democrats are touting the larger $3 trillion spending plan and includes more money to address climate change as well as so-called human infrastructure. As for transit this evening, this is at 35 at Randolph, seeing some delays on the northeast side this evening. As we head over here to the wall very quickly, you can see traffic flowing there. We had a crash at Weidner Road that is causing some delays. So if you're heading southbound from New Braunfels into town, it'll take you 48 minutes right now, only 26 minutes heading the other direction. Also some delays here on the west side on I-10 at Woodstone, seeing a crash inbound there. That is also causing some delays once you get inside 1604. Let's take a look at that now. 22 minutes between 1604 and downtown, only about 12 minutes the other way. So watch out for that stuff this evening, guys.
Thank you, Samuel. Meanwhile, we're talking about the weekend. It is upon us, Katie.
Yes, it is.
It is, and after a week of some pretty steady Eddie weather here, we'll see some subtle changes this weekend, primarily on Sunday, with a better chance of some afternoon thunder showers, and we will, of course, get into that. As for this evening, it is toasty out there. 94 is our air temperature at the airport, but that yellow number next to it, that's the heat index. That's up to 98, but other places like Pleasanton, Cotulla, the heat index is above 100 degrees, and we'll be slow to cool down this evening. Thankfully, a halfway decent breeze out of the southeast, about 5 to 15 miles per hour. So that breeze always helps to keep that heavy, humid air moving around just a bit. Thunder showers that originated down near the coast earlier this afternoon just tried their darndest to get to the I-10 and I-35 corridors without a whole lot of success. Looks like we just lost our most recent radar image, and yeah, we did. But you saw there was a little thunder shower here just west of Campbellton, southeast of Charlotte. This has a little northwesterly component to it, so folks in Charlotte, even as far west as Pearsall, I'll watch this little thunderstorm cell for you. It looks like it's starting to lose a lot of its gusto. Nonetheless, it may bring places south of Charlotte some rain here before the hour is up. Walking you through Futurecast again as we get past sunset this evening. Any activity that's out there, even that lone little thunder shower in southern Atascosa County, will fizzle out and will be quiet overnight through the start of the day on Saturday. Just like the past few days, some low morning clouds not out of the question tomorrow morning. As we get into the afternoon hours, as we start to heat up once again, highs back in the mid to upper 90s for a lot of us tomorrow. We'll see a few more pop-up thunder showers down back along the coast, just like the past few days, but also in the northern tier of the hill country. So kind of two areas where we could see some pop-up thunder showers tomorrow afternoon, continuing into tomorrow evening. This particular Futurecast model wants to keep activity around several hours after sunset. I don't think that's very likely. We'll keep an eye on trends, but the thunderstorm activity not only tomorrow, but also into Sunday should really be driven by the heat of the day. So that means we'll see this activity pop up in the early afternoon, continue through about sunset, and then fizzle out. You'll notice as we get into Sunday afternoon up in the hill country, so north of Highway 90, that's where we expect activity to develop Sunday. And I do expect a slightly higher coverage of some rain as we get into the second half of the weekend. Not looking at a lot of severe weather. As is pretty common in our summer months here, these thunder showers will pop up with some heavy rain, some gusty winds possible, and also some lightning. So if you've got outdoor plans, especially on Sunday when that rain chance is a bit higher, just make sure you keep an eye to the sky, keep your KSAT weather app handy so that you can keep radar close and take things inside if one of those thunder showers heads your way. Even though we've got these chances of rain, our rainfall potential over the next week is really nothing to write home about. I do think a few lucky yards that see some of those scattered thunder showers Sunday, even into Monday of next week, could approach maybe a half inch of rain, but activity is going to be so hit or miss that it's generally not going to add up to much. Different story along parts of the East Coast, especially in Florida, where this weekend Tropical Depression Fred could produce anywhere from about 4 to 8 inches of rain. So it'll be a rainy weekend.
for Florida because of Tropical Depression Fred. Here's the track. This will slide along the eastern Gulf of Mexico through the course of the weekend by early middle part of next week, working into parts of the southeast. This is not the only tropical system, though. We've had a new tropical depression develop this afternoon. Tropical Depression 7, so it doesn't have a name yet. It'll follow a similar track to Fred, approaching Puerto Rico by late this weekend and early next week. So for now, no immediate threat to the Texas Gulf Coast, but as always, we'll keep you updated. Look at your Saturday forecast. 95 tomorrow afternoon with a 20% chance of rain, slightly better chance for some afternoon thunder showers by Sunday. Guys.
Thank you, Katie.
All right. Spurs continue their trip to the Strip, Larry.
Yes, and Joe Wieskamp is lighting up under those Vegas lights. He struggled early into Summer League, but his last 2 games, he's been playing a lot better. He had 17 points yesterday, and he says the vets are really encouraging him. Plus, here in town, Texas A&M, San Antonio soccer teams are ready to take the pitch and rep the Jags. Coming up. Sophomore guard Trey Jones fueled the Spurs to their first Summer League win yesterday, 106-105 against the Hornets. He scored a game-high 34 points and hit the game winner with less than 2 seconds to go, a double-clutch beauty. And rookie Joe Wieskamp hit double figures for the second straight game with 17 points. Guys like Jones and Devin Vassell are helping him stay confident after his early struggles.
Some of those guys that have a little bit of, pro experience that can just give a guy like me advice who's just thrown right into it. So it's nice to hear that from them and to have the encouragement from, them and my whole coaching staff. Like, I haven't been shooting the ball well. I know that. Everyone knows that. But they know how good of a shooter I am. And so they're just constantly telling me to let that thing fly.
Spurs will take on the Nets in Las Vegas Sunday at 5 p.m. local time. Turning to college football, Incarnate Word is working out and expecting to have a huge season. They returned 24 starters, 10 on each side of the line of scrimmage, plus 4 specialists. Led by quarterback Cameron Ward, the Cardinals averaged 42 points per game during the 6-game spring schedule. And their theme this season? Finish, which Ward echoed today.
Just the finish, that's been the key word this offseason, the finish. We started off 3-0 last year. We dropped 3 games straight. So just finish. Everyone, we're motivated, and we're just hungry to get on the field.
UIW will open the season Thursday, September 2nd, 6 p.m. at Youngstown State.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
The Cardinals will host the Cowboys tonight in Glendale, Arizona at 9 local time. For Dallas, it's their second preseason game and the final event before returning to Frisco to continue training camp. Some of the starters could play a few snaps, but don't expect them to be in the game very long. Like last week, this is a chance for draft picks and the 2s and 3s to get quality snaps. Seattle Seahawks cornerback Trey Flowers is not only battling to get his starting job back, but also a spot on the 53-man roster. Seattle head coach Pete Carroll said Trey is having a great camp, the best he's been. Trey, a 5th-round pick in 2018, is staying focused on the task at hand.
A full reset, just letting all the years go before me, not thinking about all the plays I missed, and just trying to get better every day. I want this real bad. I want to be good. I want to be great. So, I want to make the plays.
Flowers is entering his contract season with a prime chance to really make some noise. Texas A&M San Antonio soccer teams are all smiles because they're finally going to play some matches for the Jaguars. Women's head coach Leslie Pierce said her team has been waiting to play. They had a squad last season, but due to COVID-19, they weren't allowed to compete, so they just trained. Now they're set to kick off the first season of women's soccer at Texas A&M San Antonio.
It's a great opportunity. I'm very excited because it is a new program. You're able to begin legacies, begin a whole tradition, and it's very exciting to be able to be a part of that.
And the men's side is also ready to go. Head coach Kyle Beard recruited a lot of kids from San Antonio, the Valley, and Houston, and that makes Veterans Memorial graduate Jaden Ferris a happy guy.
It's good that he's getting local kids because, SAFC is doing well, and then this starting up, so it's good to see it growing finally. Sport getting recognition.
The Jaguars soccer teams will open the season Saturday, August 21st at Texas Wesleyan. And I have to mention that tomorrow is Andrew Maloney, Joshua Franco, Fight 3, the trilogy.
I'm still noticing the Jaguar coach beard with this big hat there.
That's a great way to block the sun, isn't it?
Exactly. He's got it going.
Thanks, Larry. We'll be right back.
Time for our KSAT Q&A, where we meet interesting people, talk about interesting topics, separate fact from fiction. And we are joined right now by Andrea Vocab Sanderson. She is the San Antonio Poet Laureate. Very important sounding title there, Andrea. Talk about what it means to be the San Antonio Poet Laureate.
Sure. So it's a city elected position, and it's held at the state level as well, and also the national level. So I don't know if any of y'all saw the inauguration. Amanda Gorman is the Youth Poet Laureate of the United States. And so we are commissioned to write poems for special events. We create initiatives to get people celebrating literacy. I don't know if people are aware that there is a big disparity in the literacy gap, and it's directly tied to economics and social status, socioeconomic status. And so I'm here to just promote literacy, get people reading and writing and celebrating poetry in any way possible.
You've had a lot of recognition over the last year, and it has been a year since you were part of the creation of a mural, a temporary mural around the streets of Travis Park downtown in San Antonio. Talk to us about the inspiration for that mural, and I want you to share the words that were actually painted on the streets at that time.
Jubilant and exuberant is the melanin of our skin. From despair, we have arisen. Those are the words that I wrote. And then we went out on August 4th and painted the street around 8 or 9 at night and finished around 3 or so in the morning. And it was unveiled on August 5th. It was a part of Centro de Artes, Centro San Antonio's Art Everywhere project, an initiative to beautify downtown with different art installations. Initially, I went to Andy Rodriguez from Centro and asked her for wall space for a mural to celebrate Black Lives Matter, and more so George Floyd, and just the people that were slain through brutality, police brutality, and things of that nature. Last year, we wanted to celebrate their lives that they lived and kind of observe that. And she was like, what if we did something a little different? Instead of painting Black Lives Matter on the ground, what if we painted one of your poems on the ground here in San Antonio? And I was like, I'm all for it. So I took a few days to think about the message that I want to send. And it wasn't something that's just limited to celebrating African Americans. A lot of people were like, oh, Black Lives Matter. It wasn't just about that. It was about anyone with melanin in their skin, anyone who felt like they've been oppressed in any way, that we can rise above any situation. In fact, we have already arisen. We've already lived through so many great experiences and tremendous and painful experiences, and look at where we are and what we can do if we just keep that mindset of overcoming.
Yeah, such great words. And you've just being poet laureate is a huge honor. Talk about having your words on a street in downtown San Antonio and what it's like being poet laureate in a pandemic.
Well, I found out in March of last year, and that's when the shutdown started. And the first thing I wanted to do was to try to give people an idea of we're not hopeless. And even though we're maybe isolated and sedentary, we are not alone. And empower people. And so the first thing I did was create a hashtag challenge about the power of the tongue, the power of the voice, because people need to know that they can empower themselves if they learn how to use their voice, if they learn how to be articulate and speak their heart and speak their mind. There've been so many times where we've been emotionally overwhelmed just in the past year alone, and we feel like we didn't have the words to say the things that were on our heart. And so I wanted to help people and encourage them to do that. This season has been so difficult. It's been really challenging. It's been extremely rewarding. I feel like I was made like a civil rights leader overnight or something here in San Antonio. I've done a lot of leadership things. I've done a lot of activism and artwork, but never in the capacity of physical words being presented on the ground. It was such an honor. And the mural was unveiled on my grandpa. He's deceased now, but my mom's dad, on his birthday, that mural was unveiled. And so I dedicated it in my heart to my grandpa Albert. Yeah.
Giving it an even more special meaning. And we should mention, of course, those words are no longer on the streets of downtown, but there is a plaque, something commemorating it, explaining the reason behind those words, obviously showing pictures of what it looked like. And you have a new album out. I want to let people know because I want people to find your work. It really is moving. So tell people before we go about that album and how they can find the great things you're doing.
Sure. So if you want to see the commemorative piece for the mural, go to Peacock Alley. It's a small little alley. You can't miss it. And there's a huge wall installation talking about the mural. Thank you for mentioning that. And also my album is called Elevated. And there you go. There's a picture of it. It will be available on August 17th. August 17th, all streaming platforms, whether it be Apple Music, YouTube Music, Tidal, all of those things. It's a 5-song EP. It's clean music, so you can play it in front of your kids and your grandma. And so I just want everybody to know it's just positive messages about the mindset that I've had to make it through this season. There's a song called Be Brave on there. We all need to be a little braver. There's a song called Focused on there. And then there's a song specifically that speaks about the mural called Elevated Melanin.
Andrea, I'm so glad you could share some time with us. I love that on Fridays we try to take a break from some of the weightier topics that are facing all of us right now and just talk about some place, someone really interesting and unique in our community. So thanks for spending a few moments with us.
Your love.
True love and your positive spirit is what I get every time I see you at events that we even host together virtually. So thank you, Andrea, for your time today. I appreciate it. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. Some construction reminders for the weekend. This here begins Sunday. I meant to put that on the map, but this is Sunday night. I-10 westbound between UTSA Boulevard and Loop 1604. They're doing some striping there. And exit ramps also will be closed at 1604 again Sunday night here. So just some of the construction work that's going on in the northwest side. Of course, that big 1604 project is also going to continue. This will continue this weekend too. Some main lane closures on Loop 410 West. Overnights 8 to 5 again on the weekends. Into next week. There we go. They're still doing that work in this area, so watch out for that as well. 281, this is going on too. Some lane closures in both directions between Stone Oak and 1604 tomorrow, 9 to 3 on Sunday. So 9 a.m. Saturday to 3 p.m. on Sunday. So watch out for that. And this is look at 35 in Randolph. We had some big traffic there earlier, but that has cleared up, as well as the crash on the west side, I-10 in Heavener. Stephen Meyer.
Thank you, Samuel. Look outside with live cam. We were thinking about the weekend earlier, and we're still thinking about the weekend. So let's talk about how the weather's going to affect things.
Oh, yeah. I think overall the weekend mainly just hot. Slightly better chance of some afternoon showers and storms will kick in on Sunday. Today's almanac, if you missed it earlier, 75 our morning low, right at average for this time of year. And another day with our high temperature just a touch below average. At 96, our average high right now, 97 for several more days. 94 now at the airport. We've got a decent breeze. There have been a couple of stray showers out there, but nothing that'll impact your evening plans. We'll talk more about our slightly higher rain chances heading into the weekend coming up in just a bit. We'll be back.
Temperatures, they've been all right, but I feel like we're all still wondering, could they reach there? 100 degrees?
Did you say that we're steady Eddie? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Steady Eddie watching
Steady
Freddie.
Eddie. That's what
Steady
she
Eddie
said.
watching
Steady
Freddie.
Eddie.
Yeah.
There you go.
Watching Freddie from afar. Tropical depression Freddie, technically Fred. I don't know if the National Hurricane Center likes to get
They don't like to get personal.
casual.
Too close.
Probably not. Thankfully, Fred is not going to be a big deal for Florida this weekend. It will be a rainmaker, but it's not going to have a lot of time to strengthen up to hurricane status, so that will keep the storm surge impacts low. That's always a good thing, but a lot of rain heading to Florida. We've also had a new tropical depression develop today. Tropical Depression 7 is farther out in the Atlantic, and you may be wondering, so they're both tropical depressions. Why does one have a name and the other one is just called 7? Well, that's because what is now Tropical Depression Fred was once a tropical storm. So once tropical depressions become a tropical storm, this is where they get their name and they carry it through hurricane status, etc. Now, if a tropical storm forms, gets a name, and then weakens back into a depression, it keeps
the name. So that's why we had once Tropical Storm Fred, now Tropical Depression Fred. Tropical Depression 7 hasn't reached tropical storm status yet. When it does, it will get the name Grace. So that's the reason kind of for the discrepancy there. Here is the latest track for Tropical Depression Fred. It is expected to become a tropical storm over the course of the weekend as it passes by South Florida and the Florida Keys. This should stay offshore in the eastern Gulf of Mexico until early next week when it gets closer to the Florida Panhandle. But the wet side of the system, the eastern side, will dump several inches of rain over Florida. Now for Tropical Depression 7, this could become Tropical Storm Grace here very shortly, maybe even tonight or sometime tomorrow. This looks to follow a similar track to Fred, passing over Puerto Rico late Sunday into early Monday over the Dominican Republic, and then eventually middle of next week, maybe towards South Florida. So still too early to tell where potential Tropical Storm Grace could head by next week. We'll keep you updated. For now, no concerns for the Texas Gulf Coast. Normally when we're talking tropical systems this time of year, we're like, send one our way. We really could use the rain. And if we were, in terms of the drought monitor, where we were 3 months ago, we would certainly be wishing that, but we're doing well for ourselves. This is the drought monitor that was updated yesterday. Just 1.4% of the state of Texas is in drought, and here in our part of the state, we are looking really good in terms of rainfall. The summer has been good to us, and we do have rain chances sticking around for a few days. 20% chance tomorrow. These rain chances will bump up slightly Sunday into Monday. No severe weather expected, but some heavy rain, some flashes of lightning, definitely not out of the question, especially as we get into Sunday. Temperatures now 90 in New Braunfels, 92 Uvalde, still up at 99 in Del Rio. Not much shower activity out there this afternoon to cool us off. A few of these coastal showers tried to get closer to I-10 and I-35. There just wasn't much to see. We did have a lingering shower, and our radar loop has kind of started to fizzle out here. We'll have to refresh that data, but there is a little shower there off to the southeast of Charlotte. Otherwise, it is quiet, and things should be fairly quiet again tomorrow. But as we head into Saturday afternoon, a few more pop-up showers and non-severe storms will be possible. I've shown this a couple of times. This model wants to keep activity around after sunset tomorrow, but I do think once we lose the heat of the day, Saturday night, activity will fizzle, but will pick back up with a scattering of some thunder showers developing up in the hill country Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening. Some of those could wander south to San Antonio and Highway 90. So if you've got outdoor plans this weekend, keep them. Just keep an eye to the sky. And if you hear some rumbles of thunder, take everybody inside. Still no triple digits on the board. Myra.
That's big for Myra.
It is.
She's been tracking it.
It's a mental thing.
It is.
It is a small victory, and I will take it. Thank you, Katie.
You're welcome.
In case you missed it, coming up next.
Here's today's In Case You Missed It.
He ran through the field here behind me, encountered the second officer who was pursuing him, where he was shot, and he's deceased in the field behind me right now.
Officer was shot twice in what he termed the lower extremities. No idea on that officer's injuries. He was apparently one of two officers that were in pursuit of a man on a bike with a gun. Fernando Rojas has been arrested and charged in the murder of Serena K. Bain. She was fatally shot August 4th at a home near Loop 1604 and Roddy Road. And Governor Greg Abbott and State Attorney General Ken Paxton filing an appeal to overturn a Bexar County judge's restraining order to allow mask mandates in school.
It allows local governments to issue mask mandates.
Every parent should have the freedom to make choices for their children. And I'm just concerned that because I've made a choice that's different than what's popular or common, that my son's going to get picked on for that. And that's not fair. That's not right.
Parents say they're hopeful their voices will be considered during Monday's hearing involving the temporary restraining order against the state of Texas.
Into other news at 5, a chase through 3 counties ends with about a dozen undocumented people being handed over to authorities. The Department of Public Safety tells us the chase started in Uvalde around 8 this morning. After several failed attempts and traveling through both Medina and Bexar County, the truck came to a crashing stop at a farm in southwest Bexar County. DPS troopers say some of the people tried to run away, but only one person actually got away. As for the driver, DPS says that person, a U.S. citizen, taken to Uvalde County to face charges.
Still some slowdowns on I-35 southbound at Weidner Road. Traffic down to 13 miles per hour at O'Connor Road. So that's giving you an indication of how slow that is. Also watching some slowdowns on 1604 heading west close to Nacogdoches Road. So let's take a look at the drive time on 35 there, seeing that those busy intersections there. 34 minutes now coming in from New Braunfels to Loop 410 and only less time going the other way. And this is how that looks here. You can see the slowdown KD35 at Topperwine.
Thank you, Samuel. Another look at your Saturday forecast. Mid to upper 70s in the morning. Mid to upper 90s in the afternoon, 20% chance of a pop-up shower or non-severe storm tomorrow, though I think more of us will see rain into Sunday afternoon and evening. So just keep an eye to the sky this week. And if you hear thunder, head inside. Another scattered rain chance Monday, and then we'll start to peel back those rain chances into the middle of next week. Guys.
All right. Thanks, Katie. We want to go back to that breaking news we told you about earlier in the show, that an appeals court has ruled against Governor Greg Abbott's appeal to try to strike down the restraining order that Bexar County has in place, which requires masks in schools. So for now, that mask mandate locally stands.
And of course, we'll have much more on that on Monday when the next court hearing is expected to happen. Also, the very latest on that officer-involved shooting. We know an officer was shot twice. We do not know his condition. Hopefully, I have an update at 9 coming up on the Night Beat at 10.